Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel for another update on Kadena. So it's the start of a new week and also the start of the month of May, and with this we have a new confirmation in the KDA charts that I want to dive into today. Also in the lower time frames, if we come over to the daily, KDA has just broken down and hit a new local low, taking out this local low on Wednesday the 26th of April. So our KDA short has just exceeded a 2x return. I do want to be updating what I think about this trade, if I'm going to be making any adjustments, what are my next price targets, what do I think is happening this week for KDA, all of this and more. Let's dive right into this. So starting off on our first chart on the weekly time frame, we've got that confirmation that we've been talking about for the past few weeks. Now, there were plenty of confirmation videos we've made in the past few weeks also talking about how this move was confirmed. Namely, a few weeks ago, we talked about the fact that we reverted beautifully into the EMA ribbons, we reverted into the bull market support bands, and we got a bearish engulfing candle letting us know that we're coming back down. And then we were talking about how it's confirmed that we're right down at the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. Now, in the past 24 hours, we closed last week's weekly candle body beneath this major uptrending line of support, which is also the neckline of this head and shoulders price target. Now you can see this head and shoulders has been grinding up since the 21st of November. This was support, flipped as resistance, and now with this new weekly candle body opening, we've just opened a new candle underneath this major line of support. We had a slight bounce back up today, kind of retesting this 91 cent region, which was last week's previous support on this ascending neckline, and it's now been flipped as resistance. On the monthly time frame as well, you can see, if we clear up these just to make it a little bit clearer, we are now trading beneath this major trend line. So we're trading beneath this on the monthly now, we're trading beneath this on the weekly time frame, and it's looking like we've got that final confirmation that we are going to be heading down to the price target of 54.5 cent for KDA USD. This is approximately about another 39% move from where we are at this moment in time. Now, there is something else that I do want to talk about on the weekly time frame, something very interesting. So if we do come over, and specifically right now, let's focus on the stochastic RSI. You may be looking at the stochastic RSI right now and looking at the blue moving average, also known as the short-term moving average. This is right now at 5, and it's very close to bottoming out round about 0. Now, in particular, you can see a lot of bottoms that have happened over on the stochastic RSI round about 0, which after a while have actually caused some pretty significant rallies to the upside. So I can't obviously ignore this data point. At some point in the next few weeks, you will be witnessing me calling for a big move to the upside for KDA. Really, this will be a lower high that I will be calling for. So at some point soon, I potentially might be closing out my KDA USD trade prematurely, no longer targeting the 69 cent price target in the immediate short term. We will of course keep this trade running. We do actually have an FOMC meeting in the next 2 days. Now, I did provide a prep talk of the FOMC meeting in my most recent video I uploaded 40 minutes ago, Bitcoin explosive move incoming. All of my videos are timestamped, so if you do want to come over and just get a quick overview on my thoughts of what's going to be happening in the FOMC meeting, be sure to come over and check out that video. Also, if you do want a more in-depth FOMC talk, I will be making that video tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But really, with the FOMC meeting, I think we're going to get 25 basis points, and I think the markets are going to get absolutely obliterated. So there is still a chance KDA could come down to 69 cent before we do have that bounce. I will of course keep you updated. The weekly stochastic RSI is only going to update every week, so we'll reanalyze this next week, and we will see if I will be calling for a bounce next week, the week after, or the week after that. Now, what I really want to highlight is you may be looking at this and thinking, hey, the stochastic RSI, when it comes down to 0, surely we'll be expecting an immediate bounce, because that's what happens in cryptos, that's what happens in the stock market, that's what happens for pretty much everything. But KDA is a little bit weird. Now, a lot of the time you may witness the stochastic RSI on the weekly time frame come down and bottom at 0. You can see it bottomed at 0 here, bottomed at 0 here, bottomed at 0 here, and we're at 5 right now. So let's say next week we come down and we hit 0 round about this data point, which would imply we could break down a little bit further into this, potentially hitting 69 cents soon. But With a lot of cryptos, as soon as it hits zero, that normally marks the bottom. But for KDA, we spend a lot of time on the stochastic RSI round about this zero mark. In fact, from this data point over here, we actually spent about 3 months literally lollygagging on the lows. Over here, we spent 84 days. Over here, we spent about 28 days before we saw a rally. So on all of these charts, you can see continuation actually happened for about another, at least a month, in most cases about another 3 months or so. So what I do want to highlight is while the stochastic is coming down to zero, until we see a bullish flip on this, expect a lot more continuation, because especially the long-term moving average is all the way up here at 24. There's a lot more room to move down for both of these before they do consolidate round about the zero, predicting that next move to the upside. So like I said, I will keep my trade open. I don't think we're going to have a bounce in the immediate short term. It's very likely that we do still come down to 69-cent lollygag before making a dead cat bounce and then breaking down lower into the bear market. But if we do come down, let's say we come down to, you know, something like 75, and then I start seeing this consolidation take place and then that bullish flip, I will be letting you know if I'm closing my trade. Right now, nothing's changed. I'm keeping it open. I do just want to highlight that at some point soon, in the next few weeks or so, we could be seeing a bounce for KDA. But for right now, if we're looking at these data points, we got continuation, and we got nasty continuation after the stochastic RSI hit zero on all these data points. Now, if we clear up these data points, because we are no longer talking about the stochastic RSI, you can see the MFI still had lots of room to move down, around about 33 right now. So I do expect further continuation. The oscillators are letting us know we've got more room to come down for KDA. That's in the higher time frames. That's what I wanted to update you on. Really, this weekly candle body close beneath, 91, 92 cent is the most important thing to take away from this video. This head and shoulders is now confirmed with a price target at 54.5 cent. If we move on to our next chart, I really also want to highlight that KDA is only 10 cent away from making new bear market lows, and our KDA BTC pair, day after day after day, including today, is breaking down into new bear market lows religiously. If we come over to the 4-hour time frame, you can see it was 4, 8, 12, 16 hours ago that KDA made new bear market lows against Bitcoin, and this indicator has been telling us on all of these data points, this is a leading indicator for KDA USD. If we put KDA USD in a new pane, and if we overlay this with what we're currently witnessing at this moment in time, moving up to the existing pane, you can see KDA BTC has been breaking down, making new lows, and new lows. And while KDA USD went on a slight rally back up to the upside, having that dead cat bounce, KDA BTC has said, we're going to continue breaking down lower and lower and lower. And this has been a beautiful leading indicator for KDA USD. So while we're witnessing KDA BTC continually break down to the downside, we did bounce on support today, but nonetheless, we are bleeding out. And also the Bitcoin dominance, while it's down on the daily time frame, which is why you might be seeing this bounce, the Bitcoin dominance has actually broken out with a weekly candle body close outside of this bullish flag. So the Bitcoin dominance is looking extremely bullish right now. All the markets in general are looking pretty weak though. You can see the total cryptocurrency market cap had a brutal rejection on the 618 Fibonacci, and we now have, even though this is a really small candle, we are now bearishly engulfing the previous candle body over here. So the total cryptocurrency market cap is looking extremely brutal after this rejection from the 618 Fibonacci. The altcoin market is looking a lot weaker right now, which is why I'm focusing on trading KDA rather than trading BTC, because as you can see, for the total altcoin market, we didn't even make it up. We didn't even quite make it up to this 618 Fibonacci right where this orange line is. We actually didn't quite touch it. We had a bearish engulfing candle. Last week we showed indecision in the market with this doji candle, and now we're getting a major move down for the total too, down about 2.3% today. So the altcoin market is at a critical trend line right now. I think a very big move is coming. I think we're soon going to lose this and break down further to the downside. So what does this mean for KDA? Bitcoin dominance is breaking out. The total altcoin market is showing major weakness. And if you looked at my previous Bitcoin video, you know that I think Bitcoin is going to start breaking down, especially breaking into and out of the next FOMC meeting in 48 hours. What does this mean for KDA? Well, Our oscillators, which we just talked about in this chart over here with the stochastic, while they're saying that a bounce is going to be coming within the next month, and of course I think this is going to look something like this. We're going to break down, consolidate for a bit, and at which point I will be telling you I think a short-term bounce is coming for the markets before we do continue breaking down for KDA USD. Right now these oscillators are telling us we've got a little bit of more room to go to the downside before we're ready to bottom out. And as we've just had this brutal confirmation on the weekly time frame and on the monthly time frame, I do think KDA USD is still very, very likely to be heading down to my macro price target, where I'm going to be taking profit on my KDA trade at this big volume profile right here. Do bear in mind this price prediction down here at 32 cent. This was something I drew out in one of my previous videos. This is where I kind of think the bear market lows are going to be. I don't think we're going here in the immediate short term. If you've been watching my videos, if you're in my trade, you know my take profit is at this big volume profile where there's tons of liquidity in the market at 69 cent. We're only 20 cent away from there. I still do think that we do come down here and fill that trade, take profit before we do get a bounce in KDA. So what does this mean in the short term? Well, I think KDA comes down to 69 cent, at which point I will of course have to update what's happening in the stochastic RSI. I can't yet say whether in the next month or two if we could come down and hit the price target of this head and shoulders down here at 55. Potentially it could either look like something like this, and then the stochastic RSI bottoms, we have that consolidation, and then we break up, or we could witness a move down to 69 cent, hitting our take profit, at which point we could bounce back up. And at that point as well, you'll see a lot of the moving averages, for example, on the EMA ribbons and the bull market support bands absolutely tanking, at which point we could bounce back up, reset momentum, retest some of these moving averages, and then we'll be getting ready for a new trade. Because if you know how we operate on this channel, we've entered trades for KDA right here at the top. We entered this trade because we were reverting back into the EMA ribbons and the bull market support bands. We entered previous trades at here and here as well. When we retested these EMA ribbons and also just moving averages in general, these were letting us know that we're reverting back to the mean and getting ready to break down. So if we do see the stochastic RSI bottom as KDA comes down to around about 69 cent, I will be letting you know that I am flipping, bullish in the short term. I will be waiting for the moving averages to catch up. Once we bounce back into these, I'll be entering a new short, and then of course potentially we could short down to this next price target at 54.5 cent. Right now, my KDA trade is unfazed. I'm not going to be moving my stop loss, which is currently at 99.2 cent. So really, there's absolutely no update in this trade whatsoever. Our stop loss is an 11.5% profit, which is basically 57.5% realized profit. So even if the markets tomorrow just go bing and take a massive, massive move to the upside, we're still sitting in 55% profit from our trade. So congratulations to all the Cowboy family if you are still in this trade. And of course, as you can see, today we are breaking down further. We're currently sitting at round about minus 20% from our entry, which is also 100% profit or a 2x return. So we've doubled our money from our entry point on this trade. Things are still looking very, very good. And like we also said, KDA is only about 10 or 11 cent away from making new bear market lows. So things are not looking good for KDA, especially with this new monthly opening and especially with this weekly candle body close beneath this major trend line. Everything looks like it's been confirmed for KDA. So for today, my friends, that's all I've got. Let me know in the comment section down below if you are currently in this trade with me, and let me know how much profit you're sitting in. If you do appreciate the KDA trades, if you are sitting in profit right now, and if you do want to thank me, the best way to do that is to leave a like and a comment on the video, share the videos with your friends. This will definitely help boost me on the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to further support the channel, feel free to click the join button and become a member today. Make sure to follow me over on Twitter at 618_cowboy, where I share lots of different charts. Sometimes I may be away from the markets for a few days or so, and I will post a few different updates and charts over on my Twitter. So with that being said, my friends, that's all I've got for this video. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. See you in the next one. Not looking too good for KDA. I'm out. Peace.